in. Next up, we have Dystopian World. Dystopian World over OST. Okay. What's the name of the game from this? Is 2. Tria.os. All right, thank you. All right, with that being said, let's do this again. Next up, we have Dystopian World OST by Manel Navola from the Tria.os soundtrack, which I understand is from Roblox. Once again, everybody, this is a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician and composer, and my objective here is to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what is happening here musically. So, if you like the sound of that, make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever term you want to use. Like the video, share the video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, become a member, all that good stuff. On them paid subscription, support this channel as much as you want, but not at your own expense. 2 disclaimers. Number 1, this is my first time ever hearing this track, so I will be pausing a lot and I will be talking a lot as I will be explaining things as I hear them or as I realize them. And number 2, this is recorded on a single take, live on stream. I just stumbled upon my words. I will do it again. With that being said, let's do this. Have I ever thought of teaching? I've done it before. I'm not very good at it, ironically enough. Let's do this. Dystopian World. Let's go. Okay, so we start with 2 elements. One of them is a little bit deceptive, the other one not as much. We have a bass doing a bass line, giving us what could be our initial motif. Motif being the smallest version of your musical idea, the seed, the essence from which everything else comes from. And then we are having what I think is a sample of footsteps going around, kind of like stepping on gravel or stepping on dirt, something like that. It is texture, and it is not on the same rhythm as the bass. I think designed to throw you off, kind of like stepping into, maybe like pavement stepping. I don't know. Let's see where this goes. Okay, so another thing that we had is that bass line got a little bit of delay. So let me explain one very cool thing. This is from the previous video. So when it comes to music, especially in electronic music that is sample-based, you have the concept of echo. Echo is not naturally occurring in digital samples. When it comes to this, especially for synthesizers. So when it comes to echo, then you will need to have you need to be able to synthesize it. And for that, we have 2 types of echo. We have delay and we have reverb. When it comes to these, it's good to imagine them as 2 different types of echo. Delay is the type of echo you get if you are standing on the Grand Canyon and you yell and you wait a moment and then the waves come back to you, like the sound bounces back to you over a period of time. Reverb is like standing in an empty auditorium or in an empty church, and it's that echo that you get that is a lot more immediate. And right now the bass line is having a little bit of delay. A little bit, very, very, very subtle. It could be that it's delay built in, or it could be a second synth that was playing to emulate the delay. Either way, it gave us a little, it was on beat. It was on beat for the bass line, which made it have a bit of extra momentum. And then we got a second synth giving us some melody. Let me go back a couple of seconds so that I can hear this again. We got a chord, a bit more texture. And we have another synth in the background giving us a little bit more percussion. Not percussion, it's a bit more rhythm. It's kind of like a guitar playing a heavy metal riff kind of thing. So let's see where this goes. Let's just see what it goes. Yeah, it's giving us a little bit of rhythm. Our first percussion, which is another synth. It just sounds a bit more percussive. Okay, and this one is actually giving us our motif. The motif being the smallest version of your musical idea, the seed, the essence from which everything else comes from. And now this is pretty good. Let's see where it goes. We're slowly building up. Okay. We're basically repeating And we're basically just adding a couple of extra layers every repetition, mainly adding texture. There's mainly adding a bit more texture, a little bit more depth, but overall, we still have the two main focuses of this right now, the bass line and the melody, the motif. We still don't have drums going yet. That's interesting. Let's see where it goes. Okay. We change chords. We change chords, so now we change where we're playing on the scale. I like it. That new synth over there kind of sounds like distorted speaking. It's giving us an extra rhythm, and I am surprised we're this far in and there's still no drum beat. Very ambiance kind of thing. Very cool. And when we switched chords, we engaged in what we call sequencing. So at first, what we had was an ostinato in the bass line. Ostinato just means that you're repeating over and over and over and over again, which is what the bass line was doing. After that, we engaged in sequencing. So sequencing is taking, in this case, the bass line that we had and just doing it again from a different spot on the scale. The exact same thing, just relatively speaking in a different spot on the scale. Right now it was up the scale. Same thing, it just gives you that extra bit of context, or that sense of rising up. Let's see where this goes. Okay, we're accelerating a little bit. And okay, so now we bring in the drums, we change the bass line around, but the melody has stayed somewhat similar. We're doing a slight variation of this really cool transition. I am surprised we went this long without a drum beat. Fun drum beat, giving us a lot of pace, and let's just see where it goes. So yes, speaking of the bass is now doing a reduction, rhythmically speaking. So we used to have this very, very long bass line going from one chord, and then after a bunch of repetitions, we went to another chord. Now it was just one or two repetitions, then we changed chord, then we're going to change chord again, giving it a lot faster pace and accelerating what we call the harmonic rhythm. So let me see. So harmonic rhythm. When it comes to music, you have three elements: melody, harmony, rhythm. The concept of harmony is the one side of music that is a little bit more extrapolated, it's a bit more abstract, it's a little bit more meta than the other ones. Because the melody is going to be, the horizontal individual lines of music. The rhythm is going to be the time that they take to have, like how fast, when they happen. But the harmony is the relative relations between the different notes, between the different scales, what relations the chords have from to one another, and from harmony we get harmonic rhythm. I can spell, I promise. So when it comes to harmonic rhythm, this is an extrapolation of the extrapolated concept of harmony. So when it comes to music, you will have what is called a chord progression. What chords you're playing, when and what chords you're playing, and in what order. The concept of harmonic rhythm is how fast or how slow you change your chord. So when it comes to music, we subdivide time into bars, right? So usually, let's say we have a bar of 4/4, and this is going to be a bar. Then we're going to have another bar, and then another bar, then another bar, and we're just gonna make a bunch of bars over here, right? So the concept of harmonic rhythm is, let's say we have chord number 1 playing over here for an entire measure, for 2 measures, then we're gonna play chord number 2, then for 2 measures, and then let's give it one more bar, and then chord number 3 for 2 measures. So your harmonic rhythm is every 2 measures you change chord. every 2 measures, you change chord. However, if you then change that, let's say we go from chord number 1, and 1 bar later we do chord number 2, and like this next repetition you do this, like now number 3, then number 4, then number 5, then your harmonic rhythm has accelerated, because now instead of it being every 2 bars, it is now every 1 bar. And you can accelerate this or slow this down as much as you want. So what we had here is that in the start, the bass line was in the first chord for the entire thing, and it would repeat again, and then in the third repetition we would switch over from 1 to 2. However, now we are doing, instead of 1 for 2 repetitions, we're doing 1, 2 bars, and then 2. So we have accelerated the harmonic rhythm from this, and then in 2 bars we're probably going to go back to 1, or we're going to go to 3, whichever the composer has chosen. But this has accelerated the harmonic rhythm along with the addition of the drums being there, which gives an extra subconscious sense of acceleration. Let's see where this goes. And the drum beat is really cool as well. We bring it up even faster, accelerate more, and okay, so then we have a brief moment of just taking away the drums. I wouldn't call this going off the ramp, really, because it really didn't end in the same way. It was just basically slowing things down. We bring a new version of the bass line, and we bring in a new version of the melody, still more or less related to the initial one that we had, so it still feels familiar enough that it stays together. Because once again, when you're making music, you want to keep a very careful balance between what is new and what is familiar. Too much familiarity, too much repetition, you risk boring the listener, they tune out. Too much new material too quickly, you risk overwhelming the listener, they tune out. So one of the issues, one of the challenges that composers will face is, after a certain point, you are going to need some sort of contrast. You're going to need the next section to have some sort of just difference to the first one. However, if you bring completely unrelated material to what you're already doing, there is a risk that you're going to overwhelm the listener, because it's going to have that sense of the sentence that came after the first one was completely unrelated to the first one. I don't like this. It feels disjointed. So in order to be able to get that through, well, you bring variations of what you already do. So let's see where this goes. We have completely slowed it down. We have now another softer drum in the back, giving us a new version of the melody, a lot slower. Let's see where this goes. Nice melody. Slower melody, slower melody. It's a very nice melody, and now we're doing 2 layers of the same melody. We're doing harmonization. So the concept of harmonization, ironically, the concept of harmonization has less to do with harmony, more to do with melody. So the concept of harmonization is is what we call counterpoint parallel motion. So counterpoint is the study of melodies, how they are, how they interact with each other, how they develop, all that kind of stuff. Usually counterpoint, usually how they relate to one another. Usually it's comparing 2 melodies one another, seeing how they interact. The concept of parallel motion is when you get 2 melodies that are doing the exact same thing, just from different points in the scale. And that is what we're doing. And that concept of parallel motion we usually call harmonization, because you're bringing harmony, which is, harmony is kind of like the vertical chunks of music, extrapolated and whatnot, but you're adding verticality to the melody, and in this case, we're repeating the melody, doing that. Let's see where this goes. Bassline changed it a little bit to meet a little bit of the melody's rhythm. Very nice. How are you gonna end this? Alright, we let the melody play one last time. We repeat the bass line a couple more times. Changing the chords. How you're gonna end it? We have another synth giving us a bit of higher up. And there you go. We got a couple of last beats there. Kind of sounds like an alarm siren. Really, really, really nice. I would say, structurally speaking, this could probably have gone for another 2.5 minutes. Like, there was a lot of material here that you could have explored further. I like this. I like this. This is a good problem to have, by the way. Like, leaving me wanting for more is in a good way. Because I would have liked to see the themes explored a bit more, an extended version where we do a couple of variations of the other things, especially considering how long it took for the drums to arrive. I would have liked to see, because this, I think, from here, you can bring the drums back, do variations on that part, and then you can do basically the same structure again, but with some variation, a bit more, a different set of melodies, a bit more texture, and then you can end it, and it would be, I would say, it would feel a lot more complete. Right now, this one feels like a preview. It felt a little bit like a preview. So very, it was good though. It was really, really good. I really liked the beat. I really liked the bass line. It was really good bass line. The drum beat was really, really interesting because it had a lot of displacement here and there. It was really, really good. Track reminds me of early Newgrounds music. Good stuff. There you go, Mr. Solkrieg. I'm gonna drop you. I'm gonna name drop you because why not? So yeah, there you go. That was Dystopian World OST from the tria.os Roblox game. Is like Geometry Dash. Okay, there you go. By Manel Navola. Once again, everybody, this has been a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician, a composer, and my objective here has been to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what has happened here musically. So, if you're watching this on the YouTube video archive thing, thank you for watching. Make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever term you want to use. Like the video, share the video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, become a member, one of them paid subscriptions, all that good stuff. Support this channel as much as you want, not at your own expense. If you want to listen to this without me interrupting every 3 seconds, I will be linking it in the description down below. If you want to request a song and you're not on the live stream, if you're on the live stream, do not request just yet. If you're not on the live stream, go to the Discord server, link down below. Go to the LFA requests channel and follow the instructions on the pinned messages. And if you want to catch the streams when they happen live, we aim for Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Central European Time. If you want to know what that is, or you don't live in Europe, and you want your local time zone, the Discord and the Twitch, they both have this full stream schedule up to date in your local time zone, so that you don't have to worry about doing math at, oh, what is 6 p.m. Central European Time? I live in Texas. You don't have to worry about that. So there you go. And follow the gaming channel, because we have a gaming channel, because of course I have a gaming channel. I'm on YouTube. What else could I possibly have? Games are Basterd. That's where I upload the VOD recordings of the gaming after shows if they happen. Link down below, or just search for it on YouTube. It's the same username as James R. Basterd. Just swap the J for a G, and you got it. And yeah, there you go. Dystopian World OST, tria.os, Roblox. Very interesting. Very, very good stuff. Really, really good stuff. But yeah, let's move on.